This is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Haley Wilgus has the night off. In topping our news tonight, with a legislative showdown in Tallahassee over state funding, there's concern over how it could impact plans to bring the Atlanta Braves to Northport for spring training. ABC7's Christopher Brownlee joins us now live from Northport with the latest on those negotiations. Christopher?
Good evening, Scott. Major funding for this project, turning this virtually empty field into a baseball stadium, will come from the West Villages and the Atlanta Braves themselves. However, there is still some state funding that is needed. But will it be given? That is the $20 million question in Northport. Will the money be coming?
It's a separate money that our government put it aside, designed to bring sports teams here to Florida.
The request from the West Villages in Northport is for $20 million out of that special fund. However, some leaders in Tallahassee want to get rid of that program altogether.
There's legislation out there to end these types of projects, but we're going forward to get our project done before the laws change and those projects will no longer be able to be funded.
The West Villages has a July 1st deadline to submit their application for the money, but they're not alone.
There's a word out there that one of the representatives up there in Tallahassee, his hometown, is trying to secure a team as well.
Despite the potential legislative change and another city looking for the money, our local representative Joe Gruters isn't too concerned.
The funding is in place. It's ready to be ready to go, and no worries on our part or the county's. And I think everything is a go as long as everything's completed in a timely manner.
The biggest thing, according to everyone we spoke to, is that July 1st deadline. Representative Gruters says the West Villages request will be grandfathered in if the laws were to change.
I've gotten assurances from the various stakeholders in Sarasota County that it will be submitted in time and it will be ready to go.
That makes the city of Northport breathe a little easier. While they're not contributing much money at all, they will be the biggest benefactor of the Braves coming to Northport.
It will bring a large economic impact to the city, help the residents, help the area as a whole. This could be a game changer for City of Northport.
We did reach out to the West Villages earlier today. They told us they are unconcerned about the funding questions, and they declined to do an interview. Live in Northport, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you. Happening right now, Manatee County commissioners are going over reports detailing the number of alumni from Bayshore High School who have been diagnosed with cancer and autoimmune diseases. Several alumni claim the illnesses were caused by contaminated groundwater and soil on the campus. Manatee Health Department shared test results of the soil from 2007, and they say they can't find any link between the contamination and the illnesses, but say there are still a lot of variables. County commissioners are filing a motion to schedule a meeting with the school board and the health department in 30 days. An employee with the city of Sarasota is under investigation after more than $30 million in accounting errors were discovered during an audit. The issue was brought to the attention of the Sarasota City Commission by a local resident. City auditor and clerk Pamela Natalini says the errors came from sloppy bookkeeping records made by the city's pension plan administrator, Harry Ramphel. He's now on paid administrative leave. However, Natalini says the suspension does not come solely because of that audit. She says Ramphel was written up before.
Obviously, there was concern that accounting mistakes had been made, but that's the purpose of an audit, is to find accounting mistakes. So I was just very heartened that there wasn't any money missing.
This is the fourth city employee to be put on paid administrative leave within the last week. 3 parking employees are also under investigation after Park Director Mark Lyons' son-in-law was awarded a $100,000 art project. Now to an update on a story we first reported last night. The contractor accused of being paid by a Sarasota homeowner but then not doing the work is now responding to those allegations. Mike Chaffee says he sent numerous messages to the credit card company asking them to credit the money back to the homeowner. He says his company will be issuing a certified check to the homeowner or his attorney in the next couple of days. Chaffee was paid to do some repair work back in December, but then told the homeowner the work could not be done. The homeowner's son says they were told someone processed the refund, but nothing has come through their credit card account just yet. Manatee County is now joining Sarasota County in issuing a county-wide burn ban. That ban includes fireworks, sparklers, campfires, bonfires, and burning of yard trash. Outdoor grilling is still allowed, but grills must not be left unattended. Manatee County Commissioners approved the state of local emergency this morning. The Florida Forest Service says the ban is desperately needed to reduce the risk of wildfire flare-ups.
Anything that generates heat is going to move very rapidly. You know, this is the windiest I remember it being here this late in the year. And so with the humidity being low, the wind, the dry conditions, it's just a recipe for a big fire.
The burn ban in Manatee County will be in effect until next Tuesday. It could be extended if the dry conditions continue. The burn ban is also now in effect in Charlotte County, Sarasota County, as well as the city of Venice and Northport issued a recreational burn ban late last week. Meanwhile, the Southwest Florida Water Management District is declaring a Phase 1 water shortage in 16 counties due to the recent drought. Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte counties all included in the declaration. The order requires local utilities to review and implement procedures to conserve water. It could also lead to water restrictions for the public in the near future. Despite the shortage advisory, the district says there is still adequate water supply available to the public. But not much falling from the skies. Let's get more on our forecast from Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Some of the lowest levels I've seen as far as the ponds go and some of the waters around the golf courses across the area. Some of it just gone, in fact. We are looking at the fire index for the Keach-Byram index. Is showing these numbers getting higher and higher. We didn't get much rainfall over the weekend. 664, the highest number in DeSoto County. And you can see we're all in the 600 category right now. And that's the highest all across the state for that matter. So this is the most dangerous area for fires and of the drought as that goes. They had a little bit more rain along the East Coast, so they're not in as quite a much of a danger. Now, dry air, you can see it. This is the scale right here that you see. The dry air continues to push in from the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere right over the state. Currently at the Sarasota-Bradian Airport, lots of sunshine. Comfortable, though, 75 degrees. The pressure is at 29.84 inches, but this will be rising slightly throughout the next 24 hours. We have a west wind at 9, and the dew point temperature very low, 56, so it makes for a very pleasant evening. High pressure eventually will slip off to the southeast a little bit more. That gives way to, again, east to southeasterly wind flow. When that happens, we're really going to warm up. We're going to see high temperatures into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Florida transportation officials hope to start building a new Cortez Bridge within the next decade. The current bridge is more than 60 years old. FDOT wants to build a replacement that would last until next century. It's considering a 35-foot mid-level drawbridge that would reduce the number of openings by 32%. It would cost about $107 million. Another option, a 65-foot fixed span that would cost nearly $30 million less. Both bridges would require usual maintenance, but crews would have to put additional time and money into the 35-foot bascule bridge.
The maintenance costs on a bascule bridge, besides the normal bridge maintenance, we also have the mechanical maintenance on these bridges because they are in constant use pretty much 24 hours a day.
A 3-year project development and environment study is underway. FDOT has been asking for feedback from residents and won't make any final decisions before holding another public forum sometime this summer. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a 3-state investigation into a fraud scheme involving millions of dollars leads to the arrest of a Sarasota man. I'll show you who else faces charges. Plus, a new bill making its way through the Florida legislature is getting some mixed reactions as the House is set to vote on the new liquor law.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia, a performance masterpiece. Race-inspired handling and lightning-fast response times take your drive to the next level. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View. Broadway's high-heeled hit is headed here to the Suncoast. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, the Big Red Kinky Boots will be here with us. We'll get a preview from the Van Wezel, plus an update on some other hot tickets in town. An ABC7 reporter embeds with the Marines and gives boot camp a try. We'll hear how he fared. Plus, Geyers is here for National Pretzel Day. Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The LECOM School of Dental Medicine in Lakewood Ranch is now accepting patients. You will receive your care in comfortable, state-of-the-art treatment rooms. To schedule your appointment, please call the LECOM Dental Group practices 941-405-1600. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
Julia from Alfa Romeo. Appearance. Performance. Power. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
A Sarasota resident, one of 3 men facing federal charges. Investigators say Gordon Moskowitz allegedly got more than $5 million from his victims. ABC7's Bobeth Yates joins us now with more on the arrest. Bobeth?
Yes, the Sarasota resident is among the trio arrested for the alleged role in the advanced money-making scheme.
News that Sarasota resident Gordon Richard Moskowitz was indicted on conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering has rocked this quiet gated community off University Parkway.
I'm really surprised to hear about that.
The men were reportedly arrested on Friday. Moskowitz was said to be picked up in Sarasota. James Cox, one of Moskowitz's alleged partners' homes, was raided by FBI agents on Friday in North Carolina. He was led away in handcuffs. The indictment alleges that from January 2010 to January 2017, Moskowitz worked with 2 other men who were also indicted. The men are accused of scheming multiple victims out of funds, including international nonprofits, by promising them large-scale financing in exchange for upfront payments. If convicted, the trio face up to 20 years in a federal prison for each charge. Information that has shocked Moskowitz's neighbors.
I've known Richard for probably 4 years. He's probably the most decent, honest, and incredible neighbor I've ever had. I'm really surprised to hear about that. Perhaps it's a mistake.
Now, ABC7 reached out to Moskowitz and he said he did not want to comment on the matter. It's also important to note that just because Moskowitz was indicted doesn't mean that he's guilty. He will have an opportunity to prove his innocence. No word yet on when his court date will be. Back to you.
All right, Bobeth, thank you so much. Stay with us. Your forecast for the rest of the week. Find out if there's any chances for rainfall coming our way. That's coming up right after this.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope.
and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I need that stuff for squeaky hinges. I think it's called 10W40.
Ace is the place with the stuff for squeaking hinges. That's called WD-40. Not 10W40, which is motor oil that we also sell.
Right.
Don't miss these April Red Hot Buys. 6 convenient Sarasota locations and now open in Bradenton, Northport, and soon Osprey.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Well, it sure has been nice last couple of mornings with temperatures in the low 60s, even some upper 50s, and lower humidity. We saw that today, too. Beautiful out there. We don't need that. We need the rainfall, obviously, because of all the fire danger. But, boy, it has been nice. The Van Wezel webcam showing pretty nice conditions out there for boaters. And you can see some of the parasailers going by, too, at times. Calm conditions out on the waters for the most part. And it looks like it'll stay that way. Some photos over the weekend. We get a lot of weekend photos sent in. The Stone Castle with his son out there fishing, and you can see a beautiful sky there. That was, I believe, Saturday night. And then this one coming on Sunday, the Sundog. It's like a rainbow. It's associated with the cirrus clouds composed of ice crystals. And these folks right here, LECOM students, volunteers at the Manatee Meals on Wheels Plus event taking place out at Lakewood Ranch. Had a chance to be out there raising money for a great cause, and they sent that photo in. Now, mild Wednesday. We have a real mild Wednesday in Tap. Now, temperatures will be right around seasonal averages, and we'll have lots of sunshine around. And then 90-degree temperatures. We could see them as early as Thursday, but more so on Friday. And then staying dry. Unfortunately, the long-range forecast is not looking promising for any kind of significant rainfall. We may see a few isolated, mainly inland storms over the weekend and beyond. We have this high, thin cirrus clouds again racing across the Gulf of Mexico, bringing this dry air in. There is a frontal system to the north, which will fade away before it reaches us. Titan radar not depicting any rainfall around, and it will stay dry overnight. Currently, if you have any plans this evening, looks to be pretty good, 75 degrees. On the temperature, dew point at 56. We have a west wind at 9. The pressure, 29.84 inches. Now, that is fallen over the last couple of days because of this large area of low pressure which developed just to the east of the state. The high today, 4 degrees below average. That's nice. 92 the record set back in 1958. And the deficit for rain now nearing 8 inches across the region. And the hourly forecast looks to be pretty much what we saw today. Just a few high, thin cirrus clouds moving by. Temperatures will warm to right around seasonal averages tomorrow. We'll have high temperatures in the low 80s, some mid-80s east of I-75. Well, here's the forecast. Low pressure system tracks off over the northeast. We see this return of southerly wind as high pressure builds in and slips off to our southeast. Here comes a cold front. It moves down into the panhandle of Florida, bringing some rainfall there. And then all of a sudden, it loses its strength and doesn't move much farther than the northern portion of the state. So it will fade away to our north, and we'll start to see temperatures warming up here. Nationally, again, I mentioned the heavy weather over the northeast. They're getting pounded by some heavy rainfall from Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, all the way down south into New Jersey. And then out west, it's snowfall. Snowfall in South Dakota and into Wyoming, Montana, and also into Colorado, getting some snow there, mid to upper moisture moving on in. Temperature 46 in Boston, it's 56 in Philadelphia, but warmer in Chicago right now than it is here along the Sun Coast, and 51 in Salt Lake City, 42 in Denver, Wichita at 65. For boaters, shapes up to be okay. Winds will be 5 to 10 knots out of the south, basically, switching around to the southwest in the afternoon. Water temperature now at 78 degrees. That's starting to warm up a little bit. Low tide at 7:39, and a high tide will be at 1:23 in the morning. Sunset 8 o'clock even. Mostly fair, comfortable, 63, and winds out of the southeast. Tomorrow, a beautiful day, sunny, 81, south winds 5 to 10. The extended forecast calling for just a slight chance for a shower. That'll be mainly inland on Saturday. Same goes true for Monday and Tuesday at 20%. Notice those temperatures really quite warm Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Scott?
I noticed that. Thank you, Bob. A new bill that would make it easier to purchase liquor in Florida is moving through the Florida legislature. The House is set to vote tomorrow on the measure that would allow hard liquor to be sold in grocery stores. Current law requires liquor to be sold in a separate store, which supporters of the bill say is doing more harm than good.
In states that have what is currently in place in the state of Florida, there are higher numbers of incidents of DUIs, of liquor violations, and alcohol-related arrests.
Those against the bill say the change will hurt small liquor stores and make it easier for minors to get access to alcohol. The legislation has already been approved by the Senate.
Hi, I'm Linda Carson. Coming up, we'll introduce you to an amazing Suncoast woman who went from Captain Kangaroo to high fashion.
This week, David Muir across America, Trump's first 100 days. Now the people speak. The swing states, the swing counties, the voters, their report card for President Trump. The support, the anger. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
I believe that home is where your pet is.
And that loving an animal means never giving up on them, never letting them go.
I believe that when you spay or neuter your pets, you help decrease the number of homeless animals.
Because every dog and cat deserves a place to call home.
I believe that I found my best friend at a shelter. And you can too.
We believe that together with Best Friends Animal Society,
we can bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets.
Visit ambassadors.bestfriends.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
The Wild Broadway series at the Players Center brings you the classic farce, Boeing, Boeing. It's the 1960s, and our swingin' bachelor is juggling 3 beautiful stewardesses from 3 competing airlines. But what happens when Boeing produces a faster plane? Comedy ensues. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. Opening April 26th, it's Boeing, Boeing.
Christy Joyce is a fashion icon who divides her time between Sarasota and San Francisco. ABC7's Linda Carson has more on this amazing woman.
Kristen Joyce is a book producer. She has produced books you might know like Wine, Food, and the Arts, Pearls, and children's books. She produces many, many books you're very familiar with, but she's so much more than that. Kristen is from Lincoln, Nebraska. She left for college.
I went to Boston and worked hard and was an honor student at Boston University in Communications and went on to Harvard Graduate School of Education.
She modeled in New York.
I did some commercials. I was a sea and ski model.
Then she got a dream job.
Because I was doing research for Sesame Street. And I thought I would end up in children's television. I got a chance to write for CBS for Captain Kangaroo.
Then she was recruited to work in the fashion business and promotion.
And I had an opportunity to work with Karl Lagerfeld and Chloe, then Diane von Furstenberg, which to me was the launch pad. And I was then relocated by the Esprit founders, Susie and Doug Tompkins, out to San Francisco.
She became head of their image department, but she wanted a family. So while she was having a baby, she and a collaborator wrote a book.
We spent 3 years creating a comprehensive anthology of pearls. It was called Pearls, Ornament, and Obsession. And it was published by Simon & Schuster and Thames and Hudson, and then in Japanese.
That earned her her wings as a book packager.
So I had a business in the West Coast in San Francisco producing books, illustrated works.
Then she was recruited back into the fashion business.
J. Jill and Garnet Hill were two of them. They got in touch, and I was commuting to the East Coast, and it was difficult having middle schoolers in school in California and traveling back and forth.
So she and her husband decided to make a home in Sarasota.
Husband Don Guy is a former award-winning director cinematographer, and he's now a film professor. And he commutes between here and University of Tampa and also teaches at State College.
She's involved in the community.
I love doing advocacy campaigns. I always try to balance social impact together with a commercial venture.
And her life lesson?
My life lesson is around paying attention, being grateful, getting a lot of fresh air and beautiful water in your life.
Kristen Joyce is a citizen of the world. She travels the globe. But when she heads for home, it's San Francisco and right here in Sarasota. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Linda, thank you. Two nice cities right there.
Yeah, fresh water and a lot of, not like clean air, I guess you'd say, or two nice breezes.
We've had it.
Yeah.
World News Tonight is next.